Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Burning Peak, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the Tier 10 Object 279E, a reward heavy. A vehicle which I highly disagree with the practice of existing in the game. To be fair, it would be possible to balance this tank if its upper plate was nerfed to a point where you could penetrate it, or if the turret cheeks were nerfed to a point where you could penetrate it. But as of right now, the 279E is still, at least in my eyes, the most brain-dead, overpowered tank in Tier 10. At least the Chieftain FE201 requires some level of brain cell to use on a ridgeline. The 279E has no lower plate, and against standard ammo, there's literally nowhere you can penetrate this vehicle. So essentially, anybody firing at this tank instantly has to load gold, not only sucking through their credit reserve, but they're still going to bounce at least 50 to 60% of the shells they fire at this tank. Kind of defeats the purpose of a super heavy when you can drive a vehicle that's much more mobile, has better accuracy, solid DPM, and overall just kind of gets the job done just as well, if not better. So let's actually take a look at what the 279E has going for it. 2,700 hit points, which is quite a lot when you actually think about it. 3,100 DPM, not the best. I mean, vehicles like my Object 260 have similar DPM, and this tank's not even properly equipped right now. So 279E damage per minute is nothing crazy, especially if you compare it to other higher DPM heavies, but it's not bad either by any means. And when you pair that with the fact that we can go 45 kilometers per hour, 17 in reverse, and we have everything else going for the vehicle like the armor, it's a little stupid. So we are going to get into battle here. In fact, we got a pretty quick battle. As you can see, last time, 1 second. So let me swap over to my mini-map so you guys can actually see that goated little mini-map. I know that it covers a teeny bit of the screen here, but it's either that or, well, or you can't see the mini-map. I mean, I could make the mini-map one smaller, but I like the size it's at. I could also make it bigger, but that's kind of goofy. So we'll leave it at the size it is. What do we have up against us? We have an AMX M454, IS-7, Panzerkampfwagen 7. Okay, so that's it. 3 heavies. They have a Concept 5, Boss-Shotgun 25-ton, K91, and a TVP 50-51. Okay, well, I am going to make my way quickly into the front line, but we are fairly quick at a top speed of 45 kilometers per hour. It means that, yeah, mobility is not going to be too much of a problem for my 279E. Funny enough, it used to be even faster than this, but Wargaming did nerf its speed a little bit. However, 45 is still plenty fast, and all I'm running is a T3 turbo and field modification for speed with a slight downside of aiming time. It's 7% worse aiming time for a 10 kilometer per hour advantage on speed, because I'd have to lose 5 if I was to run the aiming time. But trust me, I'd rather have slightly worse aiming time and a much better top speed. Not to mention, this vehicle also has the armor to just sit there and aim in on your opponent, so it's really not that big of a deal, at least if you ask me. So we can see the Boss-Shotgun in mid, and I'm not really going to worry about that. We are just going to keep on heading over to the heavy flank. We can see the enemy IS-7 has already managed to cross. I'm going to load gold because this IS-7 is obviously putting himself in a spot where we're going to have to load gold to try and pen him. But normally, I'd be, at least a little worried about this IS-7, but what am I supposed to be worried about here? I don't think he's going to pen me. There you go. We get a bounce from you, and let's keep on going. We get a bounce from you. There's no tanks up top yet, so there you go. We've already made it with 1,050 damage blocked to the enemy IS-7. And now, we're going to get right up towards his tank and start to fight him. Hello, good sir. How are you doing? Well, we pen him once for 438, and we back up. We get hit by, what, our Artie and get stunned? Bruh, that's a little cringe, but not too much of a big deal. We've already got 1 shell out. Oh, we got the whole enemy team over here. Well, we do bounce the enemy, but we're already up to 2,100 blocked, which is pretty good if you ask me, especially for literally sitting here and doing nothing but, well, chilling. We have the IS-7, which we can't really pen. The problem is we're just not tall enough to hit them there, but we've already blocked now 2,500 damage, and we're still chilling in the exact same spot. So, pretty good if you ask me. Oh no, the Artie hit me for 7 damage. What will I ever do? Well, Artie's coming again, stuns me for another 9 seconds. I mean, we know, artillery is the most cringe thing in this game. No matter how good you are, doesn't matter, because Artie's gonna at least stun you a bit. But we're doing fine. The E4 misses, and we're gonna move up now. We're gonna aim it on that E4 hatch. Well, I want to hit that E4 hatch. Bruh, what? That shell went to nowhere. Alright, well, we back up. We have plenty of reverse speed as it is. And we reload. 3, 2, 1. Nope. That was just a bad shot for me. I'll admit that one. Okay. I still need to mess with my sensitivity a bit here and there, but I'll figure it out eventually. All right, let's aim it on the E4, and bonk, there you go. 447 damage shell right into his hatch, and we got a couple seconds left on our reload. 3, 2, 1. Let's just aim it on the lower plate of the enemy Panzerkampfwagen 7. We're up to 1,300 damage dealt now. And we reload again. Oh, we got the AMX M4 showing me a side. Easy shell there, 486. Now we're up to 1,800 damage. And the only HP we've bled ourselves is from artillery shooting at me, which is pretty ironic when you think about it. Can't really do anything to the AMX. We're just going to chill here for a little bit. VK shoots. Hello, E4. There you go. 437 damage into the E4. We're up to 2,200 damage now, and we still haven't bled anything ourselves. Well, let's poke it again. Aiming on the lower plate of the Jagdpanzer. Wow, we actually get penned by the Jag through my turret. Interesting. Well, everybody gets bad luck every now and then, and that was pretty bad luck, not gonna lie. Like, the chance of that shell actually cutting through me was pretty slim to none, so the fact the Yag did go through us there is kind of crazy when you think about it. Well, we reload again. Let's see, is that Yag gonna poke us again? We got the Panzer, which we do pen right through the lower plate. How much heat pen does this thing have? Uh-oh. I made the mistake of pressing the control key, which causes my game to lag. 320 mils, so nothing like crazy in terms of pen, but plenty to get the job done. That's more realistic. Yeah, the Yag, like, realistically won't pen this tank, so I was a little surprised when the Yag did cut right through my vehicle, because that's not something I would normally expect. We have the E4, which we get an easy clearing shell right into his hatch, and our team is getting some pretty good bleeds out as well. Jagdpanzer's poking again. We are already up to 4,200 damage, and I'm just going to wait for my tank to get back in action. So what do we have going on here? Well, we have the E3. We got the rest of the enemy team over there. VK gets absolutely nuked, and that's not great. Love to shoot the AMX, but realistically, the chance of hitting him in the hatch is very, very small. So for now, we're just going to wait and see what the enemy team does. We do have the AMX, but oh, come on. All right, at this point, with everything going on, I just don't see much of a point to actually sit at this corner and hold it if I'm going to be constantly hit by artillery. So instead, I'm just going to use my repair kit and flank all the way over to the E3 and the Jagdpanzer E100. I think that's a pretty good play. Let's see if we can make this play work. Here we go, full speed ahead. We can see the enemy IS-7's moving up over there. And I'm going to move up myself, and let's just see if I can help out. There you go. Jag gets absolutely chunked by our T110E4, and there you go. Nice shell myself, getting the clear. Artillery tries shooting me again. We love good old Arty, don't we now? Well, we're fine. We're going to reload, and we do have that E3, which I can't really do anything to yet, but E3 gets hit by artillery. Again, we love good old Arty, don't we now? And, well, E3 shot, which means I can move up myself. Let's see if we can just get a shot right into the lower plate. Nope, unfortunately. I had to shoot it quickly because my teammate just wanted to rush as quickly as he could in his E3 there. The enemy E3 is going to back off. Is he going to die from that? No, he's actually not. Okay. Well, we can see the 4005. We can see the enemy Yag. We can see everything going on. What am I going to do? Well, I am going to flank, or not flank, but I'm just going to push right over to the enemy Yag. Bruh. These artillery are just, they're not doing anything to me. They're just annoying me. Like, that's all they're doing, really. They're just annoying me. Let's aim it on the enemy Yag, and easy shell into his lower plate. Unfortunately, my teammate does die to the IS-7, so I'm going to have to aim it on the IS-7 myself, and bonk. Okay, never mind. Well, we do out-reload the enemy IS-7, so I'm not too worried about that. Let's just poke him again, and there you go, 286. We're going to back up. That Yag, you know what? Go ahead, bro. Congrats, you killed yourself. Unfortunately, my Hovri couldn't have just done that, I don't know, 5 seconds earlier. Like, come on, bro. Well, we still did 5,400 damage, but obviously a tank that has 430 mils of heat pen is going to quite easily cut through my armor. That's just a fact. That's how World of Tanks is. The more pen you have, the more you're going to deal to the enemy heavily armored vehicles. I could have loaded HE, but honestly, that might not have penned if I had loaded HE, so I'm not actually too disappointed there. Let's reload again. 3, 2, 1, and bonk. There you go, another 420. That puts me up to 6,000 damage now. 4005 is going to keep backing up. 3, 2, 1. Not able to get a shell into that. And just like that, we've done 6,300 damage. We blocked 4,690. And, yeah, I mean, the only tank that penned me this entire game was a Jagdpanzer. That's it. Every other tank on the enemy team bounced me. That's, it's kind of stupid when you actually think about it. Let's see, is that boss shot to him? No, he's just going to die. I could really care very little, though. This is just such a stupid game. And that's it. The only tanks that penned me were Arty and a Yag. And a Yag that got very lucky, mind you not, on one of his shells that went through my turret, which, as I said, really just shouldn't have gone through my turret at that angle. Didn't really make sense, but, yeah, I mean, this is why I think the 2790 is bad for the game, because it's not an I think. This tank is bad for the game. The fact that it gets away with what it does is stupid. Yes, there are people that are going to probably crawl into the comments saying, oh, well, I earned this tank. It deserves to be OP. No, it doesn't. Just because you earn something or spend a lot of time on it doesn't mean that it should be better and be more capable than other tanks on the battlefield. That's just not fair. If I was in an IS-7 in that game, chances are I wouldn't have not gotten nearly the bounces I did. I mean, sure, I probably could have hit my lower plate, but as we saw, that enemy IS-7 had to run away immediately after I pushed up there because A, he couldn't pen me, and B, I could pen him easily with gold. Not only that, but I have more DPM. It's just, this tank is stupid, and it needs to be nerfed. Mostly on the upper plate, if you ask me. Either nerf the upper plate or make the tank kind of like the Nurgle, where it only goes like 25 kilometers per hour max, and even with field mods, you can only go like 30. Remove the field mod speed buff, because it's too mobile for the amount of armor it has. It has too much DPM and accuracy for the amount of armor it has. It has too much heat pen. There are a multitude of ways that you can nerf the vehicle, give it really bad heat premium penetration, nerf the armor, or nerf the mobility even further. I think that the tank is still way too stupid. Look at that. By the way, I just want to mention to you all, I did 6,300 damage. I single-handedly basically won our team heavy flank. Blocked 5,000 damage. That was only a second class. That means that on the top games being played in this game every, I think it's 7 days. Yes. So there is games that are being played in the last 7 days that are 20% better than this. So that means people are regularly pulling out 8 to 9,000 damage in the 2790. Just think about that for a second. There is no other tank in the game where dealing 6,000 damage, blocking 5,000 would be a second class. But this tank, that is the case, because this is what the 2790 gets away with. It's stupid, it needs to be nerfed, but that's my personal opinion. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!